We've all been there. Rent due, car needs gas, fridge looking like a science experiment, and payday feels like a distant dream. That's where cash advance apps like FloatMe come in, promising a quick financial fix. But before you dive in, let's crack open the app and see what kind of float you can expect. Your bridge between paychecks. Imagine FloatMe as a financial bridge. It connects your empty pockets today to the money you've already earned but haven't received yet. Instead of loans or credit checks, FloatMe offers a cash advance, essentially fronting you a small sum to hold you over until payday. Sounds simple, right? But here's the key question. How much cash can you really grab with FloatMe? FloatMe's money limits. Don't expect a fortune. FloatMe isn't handing out stacks of bills. They start you off with a modest limit, typically around $50. This might seem limiting, but it's designed for those unexpected hiccups, not a full-blown financial rescue. Need to cover groceries or that forgotten bill? This can be a lifesaver. Growing your float. Building trust with on-time repayments. The good news? You can potentially increase your FloatMe limit. Here's the catch, it depends on your responsible use of the app. Just like building trust with a friend, consistent on-time repayments show FloatMe you're reliable. This can unlock a higher float amount in the future, letting you access more cash when you need it most. Beyond the initial limit, exploring FloatMe's options. While the base limit might be $50, FloatMe offers some flexibility. Free standard float. This is your bread and butter option. Request a float up to your limit and receive the money within 3 business days, perfect for situations where you have a little time to spare. Instant float. Need the cash right away? FloatMe offers expedited service, getting you the money within minutes. But there's a catch, a small fee, usually between $3 and $7, is tacked onto the amount. The bottom line, FloatMe is a safety net, not a free ride. FloatMe can be a handy tool, but remember, it's not a free pass on budgeting. Here are some things to keep in mind. Membership fee. There's a monthly membership fee of $3.99 to access FloatMe services. Potential for overspending. Easy access to cash can be tempting, so be mindful of how much you float and ensure you can repay it by payday. Alternatives to consider. Explore other budgeting options like creating a sinking fund for emergencies or talking to your employer about an advance on your paycheck. FloatMe, a responsible cash advance solution. So, while FloatMe might not fill your wallet to the brim, it can be a responsible solution for small, short-term gaps. It's all about using it wisely and within your means. Remember, responsible budgeting is key. If you do decide to use FloatMe, make sure you can repay the advance comfortably and avoid falling into a cycle of debt. With that said, thanks for watching and until next time. We've all been there. Maybe it's an unexpected bill, a car repair, or that must-have gadget that drained your savings. Whatever the reason, a little financial cushion can feel like a life raft in a stormy sea. That's where cash advance apps like FloatMe come in. But with so many options out there, who can actually use them? FloatMe isn't a magic money tree, and there are some key factors that determine your eligibility. Let's dive deep and see if you're swimming with the right qualifications. The big 3: age, location, and income. First things first, FloatMe has its own set of rules, just like any financial service. They want to make sure you're in a good position to borrow and repay. Age. This one's pretty straightforward. You gotta be at least 18 years old to use FloatMe. In some states, the minimum age might be even higher, so double-check their website to be sure. Location. FloatMe isn't available everywhere just yet. They're currently operating in a limited number of U.S. states. Head over to their website and see if your state is on the green list. Income. Now, this is where things get interesting. FloatMe uses a unique approach to assess your eligibility. They don't necessarily require a minimum income or a stellar credit score. Instead, they focus on your recent banking activity, specifically your recurring deposits. This means even if you're a freelancer with a variable income, you might still qualify. Beyond the basics, digging deeper. Age, location, and income are the cornerstones, but FloatMe might consider other factors as well. Banking history. Having a stable banking history with consistent deposits can definitely boost your chances. Account activity. Regular use of your checking or savings account shows responsibility and helps FloatMe understand your financial flow. Previous borrowing. If you've used FloatMe responsibly in the past and repaid your advances on time, that's a big plus. The final verdict. It's all about responsible borrowing. Ultimately, FloatMe wants to partner with users who are likely to repay their advances without falling into a debt trap. So, while a good credit score and steady income might not be mandatory, demonstrating responsible financial habits goes a long way. Here's the key takeaway. If you're 18 or older, live in a supported state, and have a consistent flow of income coming into your bank account, you have a good shot at being eligible for FloatMe. Remember, FloatMe is a short-term solution, not a free money machine. Only borrow what you can comfortably repay on your next payday. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.